Hello everyone. In this class, we'll study about pain sensation. Pain refers to an unpleasant sensory and emotional experience associated with actual or potential tissue damage. Visceral pain. Pain sensation from visceral organs can arise due to conditions like ischemia, which happens in cardiac tissue, obstruction of hollow viscous, inflammation, distension, and severe vasodilatation. Some of the characteristics of visceral pain are it is referred, it is poorly localized, and it is accompanied by autonomic symptoms like nausea, vomiting, and fall in the blood pressure. Pain of hollow viscous is often felt as a colic that it comes and goes to reappear again. Visceral pain initiates reflex spasm, that is contraction of the skeletal muscle in the abdominal wall, and makes it rigid. Clinically, this reflex spasm is called as guarding, and it is a protective reflex. Referred pain. Irritation of viscous frequently produces pain that is felt not in the viscous but in some somatic structure that may be considerable distance away. Such pain is said to be referred pain. For example, cardiac pain referred to the inner aspect of the left arm, the pain in the tip of the shoulder caused by irritation of the central portion of the diaphragm, and pain in the testicle is due to the distension of the ureter. When visceral pain is both local and referred, it seems to spread from local to distant site as a radiating pain. For example, in appendicitis, pain starts in the right iliac fossa and radiates towards the center of abdomen. The basis of referred pain is usually the structure that develops from the same embryonic segment or dermatome. So this principle is called as dermatomal rule. For example, heart and arm have the same segmental origin. Testicle has migrated with its nerve supply from the primitive urogenital ridge from which the kidney and ureter have developed. There are two theories of referred pain. One is convergence theory and facilitation theory. Convergence theory, where somatic and visceral afferents converge on the same spinothalamic neurons, and in facilitation theory, the afferent impulses from visceral structure produce subliminal fringe effects that lower the threshold of spinothalamic neurons. Therefore, any slight activity in the pathway transmitting the pain impulses from somatic region and which normally would die out within the spinal cord is facilitated. So these are the two theories, convergence theory and facilitation theory. You can see both afferents, they converge on the same synapse in the spinal cord. So whenever there is a pain in the viscous, the afferent pathway from the somatic structure is also facilitated. That is why brain perceives it as if the pain is coming from somatic structure. In facilitation theory, the visceral afferent pathway, it gives collaterals to the somatic afferent pathway. So that is how the synapse is facilitated, and that is why brain perceives as if the pain is coming from the somatic structure as well. Modulation of pain. Noxious stimuli of comparable intensity may produce varying degree of pain in the same individual under different circumstances. For example, injury acquired by individual in sports field is less painful than comparable injury in road accidents. This is due to modulation of pain. Modulation of pain occurs at spinal and supraspinal level. At the spinal level, it is called as gate control theory. According to this theory, dorsal column acts as a gate for transmission of pain sensation. It has been observed that the activation of large myelinated touch fibers reduces pain. Touch fibers give collaterals either directly or through interneurons in the substantia gelatinosa of the dorsal horn of spinal cord. These collaterals inhibit the pain presynaptically, so pain is not transmitted to the higher centers. Thus, the dorsal horn is a gate through which the pain impulses reach the lateral spinothalamic system. Stimulation of large fibers closes the gate and pain impulses cannot ascend upwards. When a touch stimulus is applied to the same area subjected to a noxious stimulus, touch fiber give a collateral to substantia gelatinosa of the dorsal horn of spinal cord. This diagram explaining gate control theory at the substantia gelatinosa. When noxious stimuli, uh, when it stimulates A delta and C fibers, they are going to inhibit the interneuron, and interneuron always tries to uh, inhibit substantia gelatinosa. That is, it closes the gate. But when these are inhibited by the A delta C fibers, the gate is open and the nociceptive stimulus reaches to the brain. But at the same time, when A beta fibers they are stimulated, they are going to facilitate the interneuron activity, so which are going to close the gate at substantia gelatinosa. So that is why the pain sensation will not reaches the brain. So that is why they causes analgesic effect. At supraspinal level, it is mainly because presence of endogenous pain inhibiting system. The capability of our brain is to suppress the input of pain signals to the nervous system by activating pain control system is called as endogenous pain inhibiting system. So it is built in the mechanical analgesic system, consists of uh, periaqueductal gray matter and periventricular area of midbrain surrounding aqueduct of sylvius. These fibers terminate on raffimagnous nucleus and nucleus reticularis paragigantocellularis in medulla. Periaqueductal gray matter in the midbrain. It inhibits pain by stimulating the raffimagnous nucleus. Neurons of the periaqueductal gray have opioid receptors on the surface membranes. When opioid receptors are stimulated by exogenously administered opioid compounds or by endogenous opioid neurotransmitters like enkephalins, the pain suppression mechanism is activated, leading to reduced pain. Raffimagnous nucleus. The serotonergic neurons from raffimagnous nucleus and nucleus reticularis paragigantocellularis descend and end on interneurons in posterior horn of spinal cord. These neurons secrete serotonin, that is, serotonin stimulate the interneurons in the spinal cord, and these interneurons produce neurotransmitter enkephalin. The interneuron synapse with A delta and C fibers of first order. Substance P is released during stimulation of afferent A delta and C fibers. These afferent neurons possesses opioid receptors on the membrane surface. Opioid peptides like enkephalins and endorphins produced endogenously binds to these receptors and decrease the release of substance P. Thus, the transmission of the pain is inhibited, and these cause mainly the presynaptic inhibition in the pain pathway. This diagram showing endogenous pain inhibiting pathway system by the descending fibers from periaqueductal gray matters, and from here encephalic neurons they act on the nucleus raffimagnous nucleus and nucleus reticularis paragigantocellularis, from where serotonergic neurons they form synapse on the interneurons in the spinal cord, and these interneurons presynaptically inhibit the pain afferent pathway through enkephalins or endorphins, and they are going to release the chemical substance, that is substance P, which is important for transmission of pain sensation to the through the spinothalamic tract. Note that fibers from limbic system supply periaqueductal gray matter, and this explains why soldier wounded in battlefield feel no pain during the heat of the battle. And there are collaterals from the spinothalamic tract also stimulate descending inhibitory pathway. Revised gate control theory. Pain modulation theory is revised to form revised gate control theory. According to this, touch fibers while ascending to the thalamus give off collateral to reticular formation, nucleus raffimagnus and nucleus reticularis paragigantocellularis. These collaterals activates descending fibers, that is from NRM and NRPC, which inhibit pain pathway. Clinical application. Gait control theory explains the relief of pain by rubbing skin near painful areas and relief of pain by balm and by counter irritants. In acupuncture, introduction of sharp needles in selected spots cause local pain and it activates endogenous pain inhibiting system that give relief to pain anywhere in the body. This is in brief about the pain sensation. Thank you.